Hello, Andover. I'm Dr. Kington. I'm the 16th head of school here, and these are my 10 essential groups of things. Some of them are things I travel with, and other things that I would keep with me, even I carry day to day, actually. First of all, I carry family photos, and the best way is actually to grab old Christmas cards. So this is last year's Christmas card with the whole family, but this is from 2015, and they're all, there's like 15 or so photos in there, and this is from 2013. So I always carry a few extra family photos, Christmas cards, and I also will I often will just grab family photos I have. Like this is one of me and my younger son on a beach when he was maybe 2 years old. This is my older son running through a convent when we probably shouldn't have been there young kids, but that's where we were. So the second thing I carry is a sort of writing things. And there has to be an array of writing things. So I will keep a small notebook. This is moleskin. Is that how you pronounce it? Moleskin? I guess that's how you pronounce it. And I will use this for taking notes. I also will use cards. I like index cards, but they can't be just any index card. So this is an index card holder with my initials engraved, and sometimes I use this card, which is a special card that you can buy that folds out as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can like date it and then put notes here, and then you put the to-do at the bottom, and you have a week at a time of all the notes from each day of things you need to remember. And then sometimes I'll use a to-do list, a numbered to-do list, and I will carry these tags, so I'll sort of put them on books or other things, pages I want to remember, a highlighter, ink for the fountain pen, and then a larger notebook that I use for writing, like sketching out a speech or something that's longer. So I count this as one. It's sort of writing package. It is a mechanical watch. So if you look at the back, you can see that it actually is a spring form. It's a mechanical watch. You have to wind it. Well, it in itself winds. So I wear this typically day to day, and it has the day of the week and the date, which I actually need. But at night, I switch to one of these watches. And I have like 4 or 5 of them of various types, because I can push a button and it gives me the light. And I'm a light sleeper, so I'm also often getting up and I want to know what time it is. And so these Xiao watches are great for that. I also wear them for exercising and stuff. It used to be that on airplanes, you are not allowed to have an electronic device on when you take off or when you land. Now you can keep them on, but for a long time you couldn't. So they made you turn off your iPad, you couldn't look at your phone. So I would always carry a thin book. And I literally would go around to bookstores and look for the thinnest books possible. And for a long time, my go-to book was James Joyce's The Dubliners, because it was a short book. You could read the short stories over and over, and but now I sort of rotate. So this is one I just got. It's a book of poems by a woman named Ashley Jones, who's an African-American young woman who's the poet laureate of Alabama. And it's entitled Reparations Now, and it is as you might suspect, with the title being that. But really, actually, I find them intriguing. So I will rotate thin books. So these are Bose, sort of these great earphones that are also noise reduction earphones. So they're wonderful. They're a little bit on the expensive side, but I love them and I keep them. And they're so old-fashioned. It has the old-fashioned plug, so you have to sort of use this adapter to get it into your phone. So my spouse is Greek American, and we have a home on the island of Crete. And we, up until last year, every year for 15 years, we went at least once and often for a month. And if you go to Greece, in any coffee shop, you'll hear this click, click, click noise, and it's these word beads. Now, these are the shorter, I think they're called convoloi, I think, and these are the shorter ones. They're longer ones that have, that are more like traditional word beads, and you'll just sort of, hear that tick, 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 and then people flip, then you go tick, 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 and you keep doing it over and over. And so I always carry one of these small sets of word beads. I slide this into my briefcase, a flat umbrella, and it took some doing to find a flat umbrella. This is a flat umbrella, so you can slide it, and a flat baseball cap, because if it rains or gets cold. So I always keep a hat like this and a flat umbrella because I hate getting wet when I travel. Okay, a night light. So it's amazing how many hotels in the world, even very expensive hotels, do not have night lights. And I injured myself stumbling over a chair or something if you got in the middle of the night and wanted to go to the bathroom. So I carried this very cool small night light, which also has a plug for charging as well, but very useful. This costs like $5, incredibly useful if you travel a lot. Okay, this is on the border of bizarre, just a little bit out there. When I first started traveling a lot, every now and then I'd get stranded in some airport. Generally, I could find a hotel room and get to it, so I didn't need to spend the night. But every now and then, you see people that haven't spent the whole night. So I travel with, this is a blow-up pillow, and this is sort of a survival blanket. It's this tiny little, it's a survival blanket, and it's actually a blanket in there, so that if you have to sleep on the floor in an airport somewhere, I have a pillow that I can put on top of my briefcase and a tiny, tiny, tiny little survival blanket. This is sort of just a little bit, out there, but I have this idea that one day this will be very appreciated. I will really use this and will be the envy of everyone in the airport. The one last thing that I have, and this is a big reveal because I haven't really talked about this in any type of public setting, is this black band. I put this on, I believe, when 100,000 people had died from COVID. And it just occurred to me that we as a community, as a society, really don't have any traditions for how we recognize these monumental losses, where hundreds of thousands of people have died, their lives have been destroyed. I mean, we've had incredible disruption in our society. So I decided that I would just wear this to remind myself. So every time I look at it, I think of one, how fortunate I am, and my family is in many ways, but also just sort of the loss, the colossal societal loss that's come as a result of COVID. It would be great if we could, as a society, remember it more often. One question to start the next thing. What is the one thing that you keep in your briefcase or your purse or pocket? What's the one thing that you keep physically on you at all times? The most important thing that you keep physically on you. So for me, it would be the phone, probably. Although the pen and paper are pretty close. But that's a question. So what's the top of the list when you actually have to have it near you?